that. In other words, in the Afro-American community, and I'm not an expert and you probably know more about it than I do, I think there are fault lines and splits that are not perceivable, particularly always to people outside of that community. I mean, to go back to the black Muslim movement, and I don't want to throw out modern names, but the only one that people really are familiar with now is Louis Farrakhan. I do agree with that. I imagine Louis Farrakhan and Malcolm X were, if not on the same wavelength, they may have been on the same wavelength, because I think Louis Farrakhan has moved in the direction of Malcolm X in the way he has presented the movement. And in fact, Elijah Muhammad's offspring, I think, to some extent, have been shunted aside in his leadership, although some are alive with him from what I've been able to perceive. But I think that they would have been competitors to some extent. They're not pussycats. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Louis Farrakhan, put it that way. So that's all I'm trying to say. Sure, there may have been conspiracies, and I acknowledge to you the conspiracies and all the things that went on, particularly the Black Panthers. Now, if you say there's conspiracies about the Black Panthers, I would 100% agree with you. And the Martin Luther King, 100%. I would agree with you 100%. But I only think that there's enough feeling within the movement to also, we know the people who supposedly did this. I mean, they were the people who were found with the weapons and did the firing, were people within the movement. You would agree with that, at least. They weren't. Well, who were they? Weren't they Afro-Americans?
They're Afro-Americans, they were from the movement.
Okay. I can't go any further on that one. The CIA and the FBI must be pretty effective if they can take Afro-Americans and have them kill somebody and be willing to spend the rest of their life in prison, etc., for having done things of that kind, just to help out the CIA. It doesn't seem to me to be a reasonable.
Have you ever heard of COINTELPRO?
We went into a little bit to the Manchurian Candidate syndrome. Is that what you're talking about? What are you talking about then?
COINTELPRO, the CIA, or the FBI, has a domestic policy of undermining political figures.
Yeah, well, we know about that. We know what happened under Edgar Hoover.
It was stopped in the 70s, and it's been reinstituted now in the Patriot Act.
Yeah, we know all that. We're not denying that.
Well, understand that was the program already.
Wait, man. You still have to get people who are willing to go and do such things to spend the rest of their time in prison.
I understand.
What?
They're not powerful.
All right. Look,
somebody did what you say, because here's these guys that did it and are spending the rest of their life.
I don't know what sentence they got. I have to admit, I don't know if they've been let out the back door or what.
These people that did it, whether they did it for Elijah Muhammad or did it for the CIA, somebody did convince them to do that.
All right. I agree with all you guys on these matters, but I honestly think that there was enough antagonism within the movement to bring about this kind of hostility. And look, we know that Malcolm X's children blame people within the movement. Now, you can say they have been also subverted, and we know very well that there were actually supposed to be, whether it was true or not, attempts by Malcolm X's daughter to pay back people within the movement for what she thought they had done to her father. Now, she may be nuts. And in the end, Malcolm X's wife was burned to death by his grandson and so on. And there's a lot of weird stuff that went on. But I don't think that the secret government in the United States, if it even exists, is all that creative. Look, they can't even get from Fallujah to Bakuba, etc., without having half their people blown up on the highways. If Bush and his people were so, were so clever, they'd have been able to find all these people they're supposedly looking for ages ago. So it doesn't seem to me, or they would have kept the stock market high and not have it collapse, or they would have kept the oil prices low, and so on and so forth. So I don't think these people are as all-powerful as a lot of the conspiracy people think they are. Again, I have to go to my own experience, and I know it's me holding the class and not you, and I apologize. It's better if you could have the class, and then you could give it your spin, which would be people at the lectern have an advantage. I understand and agree. Reverend Moon, Elijah Muhammad, all these people have an advantage.